Hi, my name is Susan Bainbridge, and I'm on the faculty at RAC colleges in the United Arab Emirates.
Hi, Mr. I want to ask you about some question about ambition. And the first question is, what was your ambition of your life?
When I was very young, my family used to always tell us how important life was and how precious a gift it was. And so our first ambition for myself and my sister was, we were always taught that we were to spend our life giving back. That if we received this wonderful gift of life, then the only way to make it really worthwhile was to make sure that you contribute to the world. So that was the first one. And then personally, my second ambition, it started out by just always wanting to be different. So I never wanted to be just labeled part of a group. I always wanted to stand out. I don't know where that came from. So different things, like that's probably why I'm living here in the Middle East, because I don't want to live at home and be ordinary. I want to be different. So I think it helps you to be ambitious if you're lucky enough to have this feeling of wanting to be unique.
While researching your goal, what were the difficulties or problems that you have been faced with?
Probably the most important thing people have to learn is that you really are your own worst enemy. Other people often look at the world and talk about others who are hindering them, but really, if you're really honest with yourself, the only one that ever holds you back is yourself. And usually it's because of discipline. Even when I wrote my novel, a lot of people would say, "Oh, aren't you lucky you have a book published?" But really it had nothing to do with luck. It was all about me making myself get up every morning at 4 a.m. for 3 years and writing for 6 hours before I went to work. So it's all about self-discipline and making yourself do things. And we don't do that very often. We're too easy on ourselves.
How did you manage and cope with these problems?
I made schedules and literally tried to self-discipline myself. But I think the most powerful thing is dreaming. Some people call it envisioning. Even as an older woman, I still go to bed at night and I dream about my novel being a movie. And I dream about it. I can see it. It's going to be a movie. So I think one of the things I started doing years ago was I didn't say, I hope I can teach in the UAE. I always say, I wonder when I will do this. So that's a good habit to get into. Don't say, I hope I become a television producer. No, I will become a television producer in about 10 years. And then you trick your mind into being more positive.
Is there anybody who was against your goal or your ambition?
I think probably it often comes back to family, because we're closest to our families. And I remember struggling when I was in my early 20s with my mom. And it wasn't because she wasn't wonderful. It was because I felt she was always trying to hold me back, or telling me not to enter that contest or not to run in that election. But really now, in retrospect, when I look back, she was just trying to protect me from disappointment. So some people, her risk level wasn't as high as mine. And so she was always more afraid than I was when I was taking risks. So in a way she held me back, but it was out of concern and love, so it's nothing that makes me bitter.
someone how to reach their ambition and be successful in their life?
I think the most successful people look at risk and failure differently. So a lot of people, if they're going to do something risky, they go, oh, this is scary. But for those successful people, if they're going to do something risky, they say, this is exciting. So that's one thing, to look at risk as something positive. And then the other thing is to look at failures as positive. I could draw an analogy with football. If you have a famous football star and he's got the record for the highest goals in the football league, if you look carefully, you'll find out he also has a record for missing the most goals. So what he really does is he shoots all the time. And because he shoots all the time, he gets more goals. And so you can look at life that way. Someone said to me the other day, oh, you always get great jobs. You're so lucky. And I think, no. Every time I apply for a job, I apply for 20 jobs. And 18 of them say no. But 2 of them say yes. So again, it's that attitude of taking a chance all the time, many times, and then you'll be more successful.
Thank you very much for giving us your time.